All right, I feel like it's been a long time since I've made a product-specific video standing at a counter, which I inevitably will get yelled and screamed at in the comments by people, but I'm gonna make one anyway. So this one's interesting. So let me just explain where this came about, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it before you wanna, slay me in the comments here. So I've been dreaming about the idea with a foam cannon of having a quick disconnect on it for a long time. The foam cannon, or the foam cannon threads, I was going to say sleeve, but the threads are plastic. Right? So this is the new PF22.2 bottle, and it's the same as the old bottle where you have plastic threads. And then of course the head of the PF22 is a zinc plated brass with pretty sharp, teeth, pretty stout threads inside of the female side of the foam cannon. And so what I've been telling people to do for years, ever since I've had an original foam cannon and been making videos about it, I always talk about threading the bottle onto the head, not doing it the other way where I hold the bottle flat and I thread the head on. Now you could be discerning and set it up either way, but I just think it's a good habit to develop where I turn the bottle onto the head. Even when it's full, just keep it flat and turn it like so. But I always thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if I could just, instead of screwing this on and off all the time with this failure point, what if I just popped it on and just pop it into place? It would solve a couple of problems. One, speed, and then secondly, you wouldn't be taking something on and off these plastic threads all the time. I could just leave it fixed forever, just leave it there all the time. So, don't get too excited, but we have our first one. I had a prototype. You saw this in a video. Bryce will put it in the whatever the cards up top with the link to where I showed you in a video here in a Wash and Talk recently. But we have a anodized little Obsessed Garage little hex on there. This is our first run version of a quick disconnect, so a sleeved quick disconnect in order to solve some of these problems. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons here, and I'm very realistic about this thing. So it was about 6 months ago. My buddy Rusty sent me a message, said, hey, we have a lot of downtime in the winter. They fabricate things for helicopters, and hey, is there something on your mind that we could machine or make for you? I simply said, well, why don't we make a quick disconnect for a foam cannon? And I did this whole thing, talk about solving the problems. And so this is what we have. And so here's how it works. So you take quick disconnect, and I'm actually going to recommend, I haven't tried this yet, but I think I'm going to recommend that we take some Teflon tape. This will keep it from backing off. You could probably tighten it down, but I'm going to take a little tape, put it on the threads here. Try not to embarrass myself on camera. I should go have my mom do this. She's the gosh darn expert at taping. We tape thousands and thousands of fittings. Someday when I get rich and famous, I'm going to get that threading machine, Bryce. That automatic thread machine thinger. I think it'd be pretty sick. So I'm going to add a couple of wraps of Teflon tape to this. I don't think you need to do this, but it certainly can't hurt. The foam cannons are not airtight anyway, and I think it has to be that way so it can siphon foam without sucking in the bottle. And so the head of this will leak water out through the orifice. So it doesn't. We're not doing this for water tightness. We're doing it because we had to machine this in aluminum. When I say we, I mean Rusty. Honor the source here. So they machined this and then anodized it blue. And then we take our coupler, our female side, and we thread it onto our foam cannon. So again, the nice part about this is that we end up with a nice tight connection. It really shouldn't back off. One of the things that he brought up to me, which makes perfect sense, is keeping this where it's as wide as possible so I can still fill it up. I can still fit my finger in here to shake it up. Or I'm going to show you something even better here in a second. Sorry, my phone is buzzing like freaking crazy. Ed William, any interest in buying a cleanup Project Gallardo spider? Get the heck out of here. That's funny. So this portion here, the obvious thing you're thinking, I showed this in the other video, is we just took our foam cannon, which is nice because it doesn't tip over anymore, and we added a bunch of height to it. Well, we're probably going to be able to, over time, be able to cut out some of this bulk, but we have a couple of issues. One, we have the threads have to go into something, and then second, we have to receive the quick disconnect at some point as well. And so I don't think we'll be able to shave a whole heck of a lot off of this. So it does look a little weird, but the function in this case is much more important than form. So I'm going to do the same thing on the plug. Add a couple of wraps of Teflon tape. Make sure it's out of the way. Take and thread this in. Now, the other thing we were thinking about, which we didn't consider in the beginning, is we're going to need to source new tubes. Well, luck would have it, and hopefully the MTM doesn't change this, but the tube is already a little too long for the foam cannon anyway, for the new bottle. So notice the tube actually was fitting, you know, all the way in. So they just reused the old tube size for the new bottle. And so, I mean, I'm sure you could buy your own new tube if you wanted to. Actually, the smart thing to do would be to put this on first. Tell me I'm not gonna have to take this off, Bryce.
I had.
God dang it, why didn't you tell me that when I was making the video?
I wanted to watch you try and do it.
Dang it, you idiot. Now I'm gonna scratch up my thing again. That isn't gonna work, Bryce.
Well, you put it on too dang tight.
God dang it. I feel like Sam the cooking guy talking to his son. I just need a roll of paper towels to grab and wipe my face with. Let's see if this works.
Or use the channel locks.
I hate you. I'm gonna damage it.
Just don't grip too tight.
Too late.
Baby grip.
So put the tube in first. Idiot. Both you and me, idiots. Okay, put this on like so. I'm the only person that could manage to make like a 1-minute video like 30 minutes long. At least I know that about myself. Okay, so do that. Scratch up your nice anodized plug like I just did. I won't be selling this one will be mine. There we go. So there you go. Good news is, it still stands up. I mean, I could knock it over, but I'd have to really try. So I still end up with even a dry bottle is still, I'd have to tip it like pretty far for it to fall over. So it still stands up nicely. That was one of the requisites. Oh, I already showed you the cool thing. I put that in my pocket. That's the best part. And then I can just do a single release if I want. I don't have to like push down or anything. So when I install and put the hex out, looks like that. We now have a quick disconnect. Plus, and there's more, but wait, there's more. We now have a cap. And this cap added a whole lot of expense, so you're really gonna crap your pants when I tell you the main con here in a minute. But I wanna bait and switch you all the way to the end. And so now we have a cap, like so. So now I can shake up my soap, or for my wheel cleaner, I could set my foam cannon aside. Now, there's a bit of a flaw in my thinking here in that the idea would be you just buy a quick disconnect and a cap and an extra bottle to save some money, rather than just buying another foam cannon. Well, I'm gonna burst your bubble here in a second. But, oh shoot, don't do that. So it is spring load. I'm not making a good sales pitch here. So anyway, that's what it looks like when we can put liquid in. So remember, I can fill it up. So like if you were using a bottle with your you know, with your wheel cleaner or something like that, if you're using it for that, or you just want to have a bunch of bottles ready to go with some soap in it. If your soap wasn't degraded by water, if you're using something like using deionized water or something, maybe you could set up a bunch of bottles and have them on the ready. But you do want to, you know, this is spring loaded and it's weighted to accept this. And so when we put this cap on, it does want to, you know, shoot off. So don't shoot it at your fender. But I think that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. So we're selling it. This is the first round. I only have 24 of them. These are handmade, hand machined. There's a whole lot of individual parts and pieces that make up this thing. There's anodizing and the whole lot. You know, the anodizing, this is our first go, our first try. So remember, this isn't prototype, this is first production, but early adopter world, right? So don't frickin' call me and tell me that there's a little divot on it or something like that. That's just part of the deal here. And so if you're not an early adopter, you probably should have turned this video off a long time ago. But just get out your frustration in the comments. Just let me have it. Just let me have it. I'll fall on the sword for all of us to change the world while you cry yourself to sleep at night. So, looks like that, comes like this. I think that's cool. So now, how much does it cost? Yeah, it's $125. I'm not joking. It's 125 bucks. I mean, I wouldn't sell it if I wouldn't buy it. I'd buy it even, you know, if I was making, you know, 100 grand, I'd buy the thing. If I really valued this, if I was a detailer and I wanted to improve my efficiency. I know the Foam Cannon's 90 bucks and this is 125 bucks. I think we'll be able to bring the prices down in the future. This allotment, you're only able to buy it as a whole package. I've only got 24 of them. This is the 25th. And so this whole package is coming like so. Eventually, we'll separate it out where you could buy the individual parts and pieces if you wanted to. But again, this is our first run, first prototype. Has a little Obsessed Garage, a little hex on it. It's 125 bucks. And now you know how to install it. You could chalk that up to being worth at least like $100 of that just watching this video and me gracing your presence here. So keep that in mind. I'm just freaking joking, people. Don't chastise me. But this is the key. I get to put this in and lock it on and then take it off. And lock it on and take it off and do that infinitely without having to gall up the bottle. Certainly a very expensive solution, but rather elegant for what we're attempting to accomplish here. Again, we'll have this video up right now. We should have it, we'll already have the product live. It's ready to go. We have 24 of them. If you like them, then I'll buy some more of them. I think Rusty's already gonna make me another batch of, you know, 50 or 100 or something like that. And hopefully we can bring pricing down in the future. Let's see, these cost me, it was about 86 bucks or so was my cost. I'm selling them for what, 32% margin. I wanted to sell them at 50% margin since it's my own product. I'd rather sell for 70% margin, but I'm going to do it at 32, and that's why I picked 125 bucks. So whatever that works out, 30 something and change percent margin, in order to make it worth the while to pay for this $10,000 camera I'm shooting this video on. So anyway, new product, new idea, something that I'm sure we'll have a little bit of time before companies start to copy it and want to make it cheaper, which is fine with me. Let's do it. Just make it so that we have this for the world. Maybe they won't. Maybe Rusty and I will be able to sell this to MTM and patent it or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. It gets a little late to patent it now because we've already got it here and already showed you how to copy it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Back to the stinky old Corvette here. If you made it all the way through the video, I also have like a zillion of shirts. I want to clean out shirts. So since I'm sales pitching you hard anyway, 35% off, a bunch of shirts in the store. Just go to obsessedgarage.com, go to the apparel or section and go to shirts. See all the ones we have on sale. We want to clean those out because I want to make some new ones and get this place really organized. So anyway, thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. I like this stuff. I don't care what you say. Catch you on the next one.